Hey, I've been running this machine as my go-to system every single day, and it quietly reshaped how I think about what a gaming desktop should feel like. Skytech Nebula. This isn't tea for someone who shrugs at frame drops or accepts sluggish loading times with a sigh. This is for the person who feels when performance is sharp, who notices when visuals stay fluid, and who knows that bottlenecks are just silent killers of your flow. UV lived with compromise long enough to recognize quality when it finally shows up. Before anything else, take a moment to check the current price in stock. Desktops built like this with balanced Ryzen muscle and RTX graphics don't sit at stable prices forever, and waiting usually costs more than you expect. You know that moment you realized your old rig just wasn't cutting it anymore. Maybe a game you used to play Century stuttered. Maybe exports crawled through editing workloads. Maybe switching between heavy tasks felt like pushing a boulder. That S, when you knew you had outgrown the phase of dialing settings down and whispering it as fine to yourself. Once Skytech Nebula became a daily driver, all of that tension just dissolved. Games don't just load, they breathe. Creative apps don't just open, they respond. Even everyday multitasking feels composed, intentional, and smooth. You stop wondering if your system can handle what you're redoing it already does before you finish the thought. Performance here isn't just about numbers. You feel it: fluid motion, responsive tasks, quick launches, and confident stability. The machine doesn't just run, it synchronizes with what you need next. Once you reach that level of responsiveness, anything slower starts to feel like watching motion through fog. If you're even slightly interested, don't wait for random price dips or stock quirks before you decide. Systems this capable get scooped up fast, and hesitation usually turns into regret. You might wonder if this is too much. What actually happens is the opposite. You stop trimming tasks to save resources. You play at settings you once labeled a high-end without batting an eye. And here as a twist, most people don't expect the smoothness doesn't just help games. It lifts everyday tasks, late-night editing marathons, and even browser chaos into experiences that feel effortless. Owning something built at this level subtly changes how you approach your day. You sit down with calm confidence because you trust the machine. Every time you glance at something weaker, you instinctively come back here because once you've experienced this level of performance, weaker just doesn't satisfy anymore. Gameplay feels fluid and sharp loads feel quick, not slow. Editing feels responsive, composed multitasking feels effortless and easy. Everything feels ready for more. It's not the lightest system ever. You'll want a good monitor to match eventually. The endless comparison loop wears out. At S, when you realize you were circling the choice you already wanted, you just needed the subtle push to go for it. Don't let this turn into one of those upgrades you postpone and later regret. Check the current listing while it is still available. If you're ready to stop negotiating with your hardware and finally enjoy performance that feels like an ally, Skytech Nebula is that leap forward that feels unmistakably right.